I got a question for you guys. Should you be crowdfunding your clothing brand in 2021? Well, you guys got questions, and I've got answers. You guys are watching Ask Stan the Man. How you guys doing? My name is Stan Banks for T-Shirt Side Hustle, and I help people start t-shirt businesses from home. Where we at? And today, found this interesting question on Facebook, so I'm posing it to you guys, and I'm giving you my answer right after the intro. Okay, let's jump right into it. But before we do, you guys know what I need you to do for me. I need you guys to like this video, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff, because I make videos like this all the time. And yes, I mean all the time. Most importantly, man, if you have a question that you want to see on a future version of Ask Stan the Man, make sure you put it down in the comments below, and that way you can see it on a future video. So let me find this question here in the midst of everything that I got going on my phone right here. And it was a very, very simple question. And it was not the first time that I actually had this question asked. I actually did a live with my man JT. And we basically kind of talked about it with one of his friends who had a clothing brand idea. And it says, if I can find it here. Oh man, I had it queued up yesterday. I don't know what happened. Should have been here by now. Come on, Stan, you're killing me right now. Let's see, that's New York with Jada. I had it queued up yesterday, man. This is very interesting that I can't find it. Okay, so I finally found it, and it says, does crowdfunding hurt the perception of your business? And I got a simple answer for this, obviously, and you guys know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna elaborate on that simple answer, but I want you guys to put your answer down in the comments. So first and foremost, the way crowdfunding is viewed is very, very simple, right? Like you put your idea out there, and the public of people have the chance to fund your idea. I personally do not think that clothing brands or clothing lines are the centralized focus for this type of funding, of crowdfunding, right? Like, you're better off, in my opinion, running a GoFundMe, asking your family and friends to help you kickstart your idea. But even before you do that, just run pre-orders, right? Pre-orders is another way to start your idea off of other people's money. If people have interest in your idea, then they buy it, then you get a few sales, maybe you get 4 sales. Those 4 sales pay for a dozen shirts. And then we focus on just taking those dozen, making it 2 dozen, taking those 2 dozen and making it 4 dozen, taking those 4 dozen, making it 8 dozen. And then we start to expand more and more on our designs, right? Like, this is the path to success in my eyes. You don't need a lot of funding or a lot of capital to actually start a clothing brand. I think the guy who I was talking to in the past said he wanted to raise like $3,000 or something. I said, well, how much money you got? He said like $2,000. I said, so you want to run a crowdfunding campaign in order to raise $1,000 when you got $2,000 that you can get started with today? That makes zero sense in my eyes, because it's, first off, I feel like crowdsourcing is more for tech ideas and prototypes, and you got a dope prototype, and it costs a lot of money to get into the manufacturing side to get the numbers down to where you can even be profitable on some of the items that you see on there. And t-shirts just aren't that, bro. You can walk into a local screen printer, get a dozen shirts for under 150 bucks. So if you got a little bit of money to get started, you can be off to the races if you just focus on the flip of what you got going on. But let's say, what if I only had $30 to start a brand? What would I do, right? And this would probably be its own video, but basically, I would go to a custom t-shirt shop somewhere, and I would get them to take my idea and put it on a shirt. Most places usually don't charge designs for one shirt. I would just get them to put it all together on a shirt, and I would wear it, take pictures in it, possibly put it on somebody else to take pictures in it, like Damon John from back in the day with his 7 FUBU shirts, right? And I would create a campaign around it, and if people like it, I would maybe even go back to that same person and either pay the 30 and charge 30 and basically make no money just to get the buzz out there about what I got going on, Or I would come back to say, listen, that shirt you designed for me, I want to start selling people like it. And what can we do on the numbers? Like, I got to charge $30 to the customer. Can we do it? Can you do it for 20 at this point? You don't have to redo your artwork or whatever the case is. When you're working with a small printer like that, usually they have the room to work with you, especially if you start to get multiple prints of the same design. It's gonna take them less time than the original one, right? So now you establish a relationship with somebody who can make the shirts, that could possibly do your designs for you moving forward, and you built a relationship that'll become mutually beneficial. But you don't actually need to crowd fund a clothing brand, right? So if I had to go back and say, well, I need X amount of dollars to raise my brand, what you should be doing at this point is figuring out what your design is gonna look like, what type of print methods you have access to or people you have access to. Do you want to produce your own garments? Do you not want to produce your own garments? All of these things are things that are going to open up and kind of guide you in the direction that you need to go, right? If you don't have a lot of funds, you got to start where you are with what you have in order to get started. So you got people in these groups that we're in, like T-Shirt Millionaires, and this question is from the T-Shirt Millionaire group. I'll put a link to that down in the description below if that's a place you're interested in. My man Charles is over there doing great things. But in these groups, there are people in the same situation that you're in, or just coming out of the same situation you're in. So you need to go in these groups, and they're really, really friendly people in there, and they're really, really out to help because they're learning the same time or the same way that you're learning. And then you got content creators out here like myself. You got Rich from Hustle Ninjas. You got Charles from T-Shirt Millionaires that can definitely help you elevate your clothing brand. And there's other ones out here, not to leave or exclude anybody out, like Big Brando, Reyes, and it's different people no matter which direction you want to go. And all of us are sharing the stories of what we actually went through to get to the point where we were selling merchandise or selling clothes or making custom shirts or whatever the case is. So what you have to do is you got to take these as blueprints, but you still have to create your own blueprint at the same time, right? So what does that mean, Stan? Well, Stan, what I like to do is I like to bring other people on my channel, right? Like Jakir from Trash Talk Tees, like my man BKL Visions, the graphic designer, artist out of Philadelphia, right? I like to bring people on my channel to do the same exact thing I just told you that exists in these groups. I want you to see me coaching Jakir on what she needs to do. I want you to see me coaching BKL on how to make more money off his merch if you're an artist. Because if you can see yourself in them, you can follow that blueprint. But it doesn't mean this is gonna be exactly the way that you need to operate or the way that is gonna be best for you. You take that blueprint and you apply different things that you learn from different people, different places, things that work for you, and you start to shape and become your own self, right? Still Like an Artist is my favorite book, and it should be down in the description if you haven't read it. Check it out. It is a great book to get you to understand just following the blueprint, figuring things out, taking a lot of ideas and becoming your own self. And that will help you get to the next level when it comes to starting a brand and not focusing on crowdfunding, rather than focusing on the flip, starting where you are, what you have, and getting after it. So hope you guys found this video useful. Again, if you got a question, put it down in the comments below. This has been your boy Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle. Peace.